Please like, share and subscribe. The 20th century marked the rapid evolution of aviation, transforming it from an experimental pursuit into a cornerstone of global transportation. With the rise of commercial air travel, the century also saw its share of devastating aviation disasters. Among them, the 1977 Tenerife Airport Disaster stands out as the deadliest airplane accident in history, claiming 583 lives and highlighting critical issues in aviation safety. Setting the stage, Tenerife, Canary Islands. The Tenerife Airport Disaster occurred on March 27, 1977, at Los Rodeos Airport, now Tenerife North Airport, in the Canary Islands, a popular tourist destination. The accident involved two Boeing 747 jumbo jets, KLM Flight 4805 and Pan Am Flight 1736. Both aircraft were diverted to Tenerife from their original destination, Gran Canaria Airport, due to a terrorist bomb explosion there earlier in the day. This diversion set the stage for a catastrophic chain of events. Los Rodeos was a small airport with limited capacity, ill-suited to handle the sudden influx of diverted flights. The weather further complicated the situation, as a thick fog blanketed the area, reducing visibility to less than 500 meters. These conditions created a perfect storm for disaster. The sequence of events leading to the collision was a tragic mix of miscommunication, human error, and unfortunate circumstances. Both planes were preparing for takeoff on the airport's single runway. KLM Flight 4805, captained by Jacob Veldhuizen van Zanten, had refueled and was ready to depart. Pan Am Flight 1736, piloted by Captain Victor Grubbs, was taxiing along the same runway, attempting to find its assigned takeoff position. The dense fog made it impossible for the pilots and air traffic controllers to visually confirm the positions of the aircraft. Communication between the planes and the control tower was further hindered by language barriers, overlapping radio transmissions, and ambiguous phrasing. At 5:06 p.m., Captain Van Zanten mistakenly believed he had clearance to take off, even though Pan Am Flight 1736 was still on the runway. He began accelerating the KLM plane, unaware of the Pan Am jet ahead. Simultaneously, the Pan Am crew, realizing the imminent danger, attempted to turn off the runway. Tragically, they were unable to clear the path in time. The KLM jet collided with the Pan Am plane at high speed. The impact sheared off the top of the Pan Am aircraft, and both planes erupted in flames. The force of the collision instantly killed most of the passengers on both flights. The human toll of the 248 passengers and crew on board KLM Flight 4805, everyone perished in the crash. On Pan Am Flight 1736, 335 of the 396 people aboard were killed, but 61 managed to survive, many by escaping through the ruptured fuselage before the fire consumed the aircraft. The survivors suffered severe burns and injuries, and the trauma of witnessing such a catastrophic event remained with them for the rest of their lives. In total, 583 people lost their lives, making the Tenerife disaster the deadliest accident in aviation history to date. Causes and investigations. Investigators determined that a combination of factors led to the disaster: human error. Captain Van Zanten, a senior KLM pilot and one of the airline's most experienced aviators, misinterpreted the clearance instructions. His decision to take off without explicit confirmation from air traffic control was a critical error. Communication failures. Ambiguous phrases like, "We are at takeoff," and overlapping radio transmissions created confusion. The phraseology used by air traffic control and the KLM crew contributed to the misunderstanding. Poor weather conditions. The dense fog severely reduced visibility, making it impossible for the crews to see each other or for the control tower to confirm the plane's positions visually. Airport limitations. Los Rodeos Airport's lack of ground radar and limited infrastructure exacerbated the situation. Controllers had no means of tracking aircraft movements in low visibility. The investigation led to significant changes in aviation protocols, including stricter guidelines for communication between pilots and air traffic controllers. The emphasis on clear, standardized phraseology, such as replacing ambiguous terms with definitive instructions, became a cornerstone of aviation safety. Additionally, the importance of cockpit resource management, CRM, which promotes collaboration and cross-checking among crew members, was reinforced worldwide. Legacy and lessons learned. The Tenerife Airport disaster served as a watershed moment in aviation history. Its tragic scale spurred the aviation industry to adopt sweeping safety reforms, many of which continue to shape air travel today. Ground radar systems were installed at airports to track aircraft in real time, and standardized English became the universal language of aviation to minimize language-related misunderstandings. The disaster also underscored the importance of addressing human factors in aviation safety. The principles of CRM, which emerged in response to Tenerife, are now integral to pilot training, ensuring that hierarchical barriers in the cockpit do not prevent critical decision-making and communication. Conclusion: the Tenerife Airport disaster is a somber reminder of the complexity and risks inherent in air travel. While it remains the deadliest accident in aviation history, its aftermath transformed the industry, driving advancements that have made flying one of the safest modes of transportation today. The lives lost in this tragedy were not in vain. They paved the way for reforms that continue to protect millions of passengers worldwide. Please like, share and subscribe.